Meanwhile, elsewhere, it's your boy Saint Elsewhere with my people's Taylor. Womack doing her thing. Today, Bohemian Regal, a night at the museum. You ever had a night that was just like classic, like just epic? If you could just take a picture of it and crystallize it in your memory. That's a night at the museum.
Hmm.
Would you agree, Taylor?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what this is. Yo. This Bohemian Regal. We build a community. We celebrate those that create, cultivate, and elevate
Yeah,
on
every
all
night,
levels.
every night is a museum night.
Hey,
For sure, for sure.
so I guess we started.
Yeah, yeah.
What we
Episode number
what we
one,
talking about?
001.
Zero
Bohe-
zero one. Let's go.
Bohemian Regal, the community as a collective.
As a collective. So this is a space for kings, queens, creatives, curious curators. I'm just trying to find out as many words I can make rhyme right now. Like this is a space for artists, those on the edge, those that are just looking for that next wave. As a matter of fact, we are the wave. We're the wave that raised all the ships. Hey, I got to say it on the first episode. Hey.
I knew you were waiting. I knew you were gonna make it happen. I didn't know you were gonna make it happen that early.
Well, you know me.
Skip the foreplay straight to it. All right, bet. No, I definitely agree, but I would say that it's where the creators and the collectors collide. All of the above. You know what I'm saying? This is where it all meets. The creators and the culture.
And I'm sorry, I didn't even introduce myself, y'all. I'm saying elsewhere. I'm a what you call raconteur for the culture, storyteller. I feel like right now we are living in the greatest story that's happening right now. This whole wave of digital, whatever you want to call it, change is the only thing that stays the same. And I'm telling the story about it for the culture. We created it, and Taylor is an amazing artist that I met years ago, and I knew this was going to be a story. So Taylor, you tell them about yourself. Like I ain't gonna do it no justice.
No, it's really that. It's really not that much to tell. I'm an artist. That's about the size of it. So
Yeah.
it's about the size of it. So and right now we're curating the medium of our current culture. Well, actually, it's the future. So we're navigating this in NFT space, new to it, just like everyone else. Um, but I would say we've been steeped in it for a while. So it's basically just like the curation of of our culture through this medium, NFTs.
So Taylor, you've been an artist for a while now. What are some of the mediums that you work in prior to this whole NFT thing?
Mainly, a lot of the time, I started out on canvas like most artists. Then I looked for a way to get off the canvas, so I started cutting paper, like manipulating money, cutting paper, adding it to the paint. Um, in acrylics, I taught myself oils too. I started playing around with digital media, and then just like all the rest of us, when we were stuck, shut in, COVID. You know what I'm saying? Deep. So when the crypto craze happened, I started noticing um, that there was something changing in the art world as far as making tangible assets out of digital content, or more specifically at the time, digital images, like a space where
So
digital
Taylor,
artists take a claim.
real quick, I'm sorry. I don't think like everybody really understand. Like so I'm saying elsewhere, like I'm around and I don't just mess with regular people and so I don't think they understand like the level of the work. Hold on 1 second, okay? Like 1 second, real quick.
Yeah, bet, bet, bet.
So I just gotta show people like the level of some of the work right here. Like this is dope. I had to do it. I had to,
Mhm.
this is what she's doing. It's amazing, right? And I'm blessed. I got the NFT as well as the physical.
Mhm.
So this is another one. Like y'all got to see that. That's amazing. And so I just want to show that real quick, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like proud of the work.
Nah.
Proud of all the artists that are going to be here. Like you know what I'm saying. One of the things that we talked about trying to do was create a space, and not even trying to do. That's what we're doing right now. We're creating a space for artists, whatever genre, whatever medium, to have an outlet to speak and create sustainability and utility within the community.
Mhm.
So
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
glad I got to show your work on the first day. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. Definitely.
what's some artists that you say influenced you,
Artists that influenced me.
or
Um.
like why?
I would say to start with, like, artists. I was impressed by technique initially, like as a kid, like because I was still trying to master my skills. So I was impressed by technique. So artists that were technically good, like I was impressed by photorealism and reproducing an image. But I was still not. I was still very much not free in mindset. So now I'm impressed by. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by expression.
Okay,
So I mean, like most people, because the influence is the influence. We say Basquiat, we'll say Warhol, but like more so recently we get to like Duchamp, where it's just like the expression of mine. My art is my art because I say it's my art, and you must accept it as such.
okay,
I mean, all the modern masters definitely, but anybody who broke a barrier, anybody who helped free some minds, definitely. That's the goal on my end.
okay, okay. And one of the projects you talked about, I remember when you first mentioned that it was a lot. It was a process. I remember you starting on the figures on figures pieces,
For
and
sure.
so just to get to this point, it's amazing, right? To keep going. Where do you see it going? Like right now, like what are some pieces you working on right now?
On the figures on figures,
Figures on figures, any kind of NFT project, like whatever kind of project.
shoot, I have a couple of projects that I'm working on right now. I would say I'm just at the beginning because there are so many projects that I was trying to work out in my mind, like
Yeah.
figuring out, with the limitation of Canvas, like, okay, how do I have this idea expressed in a 12-piece series, but now I see that this idea is better expressed in a 10,000-piece NFT collection. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff in the works.
Okay.
I'm seeing the symmetry between uh, Andy Warhol making uh, making 2,500 copies of a screen print, the same way that I see a 10,000 piece NFT collection. Like what's the slight deviations, the difference of features, but
Yeah.
the same concept.
I'm gonna pause you right there real quick because I feel like we gotta do some housekeeping and just to like help people out that it just got here. NFT is a non-fungible token. Like people don't even know what NFTs are. They're like, what are they
Mm-hmm.
talking about right now? So NFT is a non-fungible token that's like a smart contract on the blockchain. It's allowed artists to have actual ownership of their digital assets. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like a digital deed, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
How would you agree, Taylor, or would you add to that in any kind
Yeah,
of way?
yeah. Yeah, I would say an NFT, it is it's a part of the blockchain, so it's permanent. I would say it's it and the blockchain is just a public ledger, so it is a smart contract. So it's I would say we gave a good definition. It's a fair
Cool,
definition.
cool. Uh, Dealing with this the way we do, right? While we're like traveling in this world, is this all this is brand new. Like, so first of all, we're not experts. Like disclaimer here, so go see professional experts. This ain't no financial advice. This is not no anything like that. We're just out here talking. We built a whole little movement, whole team of people that come together and showcase what they do and assist each other in any way we can by being available and having those assets for others. So like we just get started in this because people don't really know everything that NFTs can do. Like it's really just the beginning of it.
It's a bit. It's definitely the beginning, and I would say anybody at this point, at this juncture in NFTs, anyone who says that they are expert, red flag. There are no experts.
Facts.
It's too far. It's too new of a thing. There are no experts. So at this point, we're all exploring. Granted, there are some that are more experienced because let's say a week in the metaverse, a week in the metaverse is 6 months in real life.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a learning curve, but you know what I'm saying. There's no degrees yet. Like there's no certificates. Like there's no finish line.
That being said, I think one of the biggest things, the most important thing is that we are building this community, right? So we can actually shape it to what we want it to be if we work together. So I'm gonna use that as a moment to do a little shameless plug. You can follow me at Saint Elsewhere, TikTok, IG, Twitter. It's actually Saint Elsewhere .eth on Twitter, but yeah, check your boy out. Boom.
You know what? It's episode 1, so we'll look back at it and we'll think about it. Like, why wouldn't this be at Saint Elsewhere instead of Saint Elsewhere? Like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
we're just gonna learn and grow. It's how the game goes. Now we know. So next episode we're gonna see it change. It's all about growth. Like we're just documenting. We're just telling the story.
That's real. That's
you know
real.
What I'm saying? That's how it's going. That's how it's gonna go.
So, I mean, this being the first episode, I feel pretty good. I feel damn good, actually. We were just in Miami a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Miami.
Oh man.
And met some amazing artists there. People doing their thing. And I feel like right now, I don't know what you think, the vibes are high. Like the energy is super high right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
Absolutely. It's an interesting question, especially in an artistic city like Miami, to ask someone what NFTs they're holding, or what NFTs are they watching, or what do you think of NFTs. You're gonna get an interesting answer.
Yeah, what's in your wallet?
Exactly, 100%.
That's what I'm asking them these days. So let me ask you this: with the way it's going and the growth is still being so new. Honestly, this is like it's like the Wild Wild West, and like Kanye said, "This there will be blood." Like it's real out here. How do you protect yourself? Like, how do you protect yourself? How do you vet the artist? Because it's easy for me to say that I got your NFT, I love your NFT. I already know you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a no brainer. This is you
Absolutely.
were somebody I was trying to. I can't had no problem helping. So how do you deal with, or how do you look at other artists that you may not know or necessarily, you know what I'm saying, had a chance to experience or whatever?
You need to set a checklist for yourself. It's just like you should go into purchasing an NFT the same way you would go into purchasing any other asset. You do your research. You buy in a car, you check the Carfax. It's really that simple. You do your research. You see who's in charge of the project. You make sure you can put an actual face with it. And like I said before, the blockchain is a public ledger, so you trace your steps back. You see who made this. You see what's in their wallet.
All right, cool. Real quick before we go back into the NFTs, I just gotta flashback and rewind back to when we first met, how we got back to this, because 2 years ago, I saw you working on the first Figures on Figures. This was the large scale pieces, right? And the energy was so amazing. I was just like, oh, this is dope. Trying to understand what's happening, right? And You broke it down for me. Appreciate it. Let
Mm-hmm.
me in that world. Good looking. And also, but you made me have to learn and have to like start having an appreciation for art and respect that art.
Mm-hmm.
And so, thank you so much. Kudos to you for that.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
I'm just here to help build this community, but you have helped me do that every day. And this is one of the books. I'm gonna just talk about stuff I just,
I knew you were
stuff
about
that
to
come to
pick
mind.
up that visual intelligence, bro. I knew it.
Hey,
I knew
if
it.
you need an introduction to art or how it applies to real life, this is a great book. Like real life. This is a read, read. This is just constantly reread kind of book.
Mm-hmm.
So it's helped me understand art. When we go to these different museums, I'm a member, thanks to you, of all the museums in the country. Like I know what I'm looking at. I can recognize it. To be able to walk in and be like, oh, that's the shop. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's you know what I mean. That's a dope feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And just to raise the level of awareness for culture, and also to have a space where we are actually going to be the ones creating that culture. Because right now we're just creating provenance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. The
What
culture
you reading right
creates.
now, homie?
Yeah. The culture creates itself. This is just a curated ground for it. How the game goes, but with with this NFT space, I think we're on an interesting journey for sure, for sure.
So now your camera went off, but I still hear you. There we go.
Yeah,
Awesome.
right back. Like you
Hey,
never
like you
left.
left something.
Always, always.
So I wonder, with structuring this,
I think it should be more of a conversation.
yeah,
So I think, talking out loud when we talk like future episodes, like there'd be like certain collections that we're highlighting or certain projects that we're looking at, and we're looking at their supply and their utility, and their founders. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
we'll actually have or we'll be speaking with an artist or with a collective that has a project that's being released, and then there's something to expound on.
fair enough. Any artists you looking at right now, or like you have anybody in mind, or you just
I'm
right
focused.
now it's all Bohemian Regal.
It's Bohemian Regal all day, 100% right now.
Let's go.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. But I'm watching other collectives and other projects. I mean, and it's
So
easy. It's easy, like for a first project to look at, like to like look at granddaddy projects, crypto punks and board apes and
granddaddy projects. Board
yeah,
Ape is a granddaddy project. Crypto, y'all old, y'all. Y'all old. Okay. In this
they
space, that's old.
OGs. You know what I'm saying? But you need a bohemian beside your board ape.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
and ours look
Facts.
better with more substance.
Okay, okay. Shout out to Chilio once again for the nice fit, man. My guy just hooked me up, man. This ain't elsewhere. Oh, and Cam Kirk just hit him with this new gallery, the Omar Mitchell Gallery.
Mm-hmm.
So Cam Kirk and Chilio, they just did a collaboration for a gallery helping young people grow in the art world. Like that's amazing. I love the community about it. Like that's really why I got into it. Chilio, that's one of the first. Those are one of the first NFTs I collected. So shout out to him. Thank you for that. Um, what I was going to say earlier was that I was in some of these Twitter spaces, and what I'm hearing a lot in the NFT community is that they feel like there's not enough black representation, especially for black women
And
in the NFT community.
mm-hmm.
Like, how do you feel about that, or do you have anything to say about that? Like, I mean, I know that
I
sounds
mean,
corny or whatever, but like, that's something I really heard. Like, that's really what they was talking about. I'm like, the
it's not
first
just.
NFT I bought was from my home. Like, what?
I mean, it's not just what you heard; it's what you observed. But I mean, that's symmetrical, like to the actual art world. Like how many black artists do you see represented in major gallery spaces? How many black female artists do you see represented in major gallery spaces or with major museum exhibitions? It's just par for the course. But it's a new space. This is Web 3.0, so hopefully access and interest, it'll be a little different this time around. Greater representation for sure. I'm definitely gonna make my mark.
So what's up?
Absolutely.
When I first saw the space, I was like, "Oh, this thing is so cool! How you could create anything and just like have it and broadcast it and have ownership of it and have people participate in it." So one of the first things I did, I called my kids. I was like, "Yo, y'all like to play with like Minecraft? Y'all like to design stuff? NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to
Yeah.
Joe Jackson y'all with NFTs. Like, you know what I mean? But what got me doing that was the gas fees. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And they can hit. And so that kind of like it affected it. So
Oh,
what do you
it's not.
do?
It's not. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not a poor man's sport.
No, it's
Not
definitely not a
right
poor
now.
man's sport.
Not right now. But I mean, the playing fields are starting to get evened out because initially, like, we're just dealing in ETH, right?
Yeah.
So we're transacting strictly in Ethereum. This is the main language. This is where all the action is. But as I guess with all platforms, like, democracy happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It evens out and that access widens. So now we get Polygon, you know, with the gas fees taken down majorly, but we're still transacting on an Ethereum blockchain, or we get direct competition like a Solana with no gas fees.
So I'm
So
gonna tell everybody this: if you don't know what Ethereum, Polygon, or Solana mean, you need to do your research.
mhm,
One
for
thing
sure.
you need to do before you get this game is do your research,
Mhm,
like real life.
for sure.
And it's constantly evolving, constantly changing. While we're helping shape it, it is shaping every single moment. So
Oh,
it's
the time of day you transact matters. Like, that's gonna
facts.
dictate your fee. Like,
Yeah,
there's so much that goes into it, whether you're the buyer or the seller. Um, yeah, research must be done for sure, for sure.
at all times. Uh, man, Taylor, we just kind of like freestyling this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Real life, we are 20 minutes in. I'm kind of proud. I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so proud of us that I'm going to take a shot real quickly just to
Hey, we already
celebrate.
know
Yep.
for sure. Brilliant.
Episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's where we'll have like a commercial break later on. You know, get some
Oh yeah,
sponsors in
yeah.
here. Sponsors, that was a fake shot. It was just water,
Quickly,
whatever.
quickly.
But
Oh, sponsors filling gaps. We should have had we should have a couple of ads in already. It's coming now. For sure. No question.
Valentine's Day, really? Yo, so I saw this on some social media, some outlet somewhere. Serena Williams' husband, he made the decision that his only gifts to his beautiful wife, Serena Williams, an amazing tennis player, is going to be NFTs.
I did see that the last two gifts he gave her were NFTs, and he was like, "So, you know, I'm only giving you NFTs going forward."
Yeah,
I mean, but what says more? Like, you want some flowers that are gonna die? You want a meal that you're gonna digest a few hours later? I mean, we're gonna eat, but you know, you want this fancy meal, or you want this NFT that will appreciate and
okay,
also give you access with utility. Like,
facts.
this is the gift that keeps on giving.
You hear that, fellas? You
Mm-hmm.
really want to impress yourself? We are going into an age where the flowers, that ain't gonna be it, bro. That little bag, yo, where the NFTs at? She gonna really want to know what's in your wallet. So
Get her a thoughtful NFT.
yeah, yeah.
Get her a thoughtful NFT. I'm sure there's some romantic ones out there. We got poetry out there. You know what I'm saying? Get her an NFT of your song.
And
That way,
ladies,
that's
if you're dealing
equity
with
in
a
her
guy who don't
relationship.
know about like crypto or NFTs or any of this stuff, like
Know your worth.
know your worth, boo
You know
boo.
what I'm saying? Know your worth. You're gonna give somebody with a future. You know your
Hey,
worth.
hey. So yeah, it was just interesting to hear that, and I really like how it creates a space where there are no barriers right now. Like I'm in these Twitter spaces, and there's people from third world countries. There's just people from London, England, people from Alabama, but anywhere. And you might have a couple celebrities in there. But we're all in this one room learning about the same thing, trying to like see and wrap our minds around it. And it's cool. Like your people that you would not normally run into in other spaces, you find them in the space. And I think that's so interesting.
I feel
Right?
you. I want to say this. I don't want to tell our secrets, but
You're gonna tell wait, hold on, what?
I don't want to tell our secrets.
Okay,
But
okay.
when we were in Miami, we were recovering. What was that from night number 2? What movie did we decide to watch?
We decided to watch Hook.
Exactly. We decided to watch Hook. Now, I it's so significant, and I related it to this space. This is why.
Hook is the Peter Pan
Because
movie about Peter Pan being grown up. If y'all don't know what Hook is, check it out. Pretty
exactly.
good movie. Robin Williams. Shout out
So,
to the late great Robin Williams. It's
so when
movie Hook.
Robin Williams became an adult when he left Never Neverland, I would say that's aligned with these people. Bro, you dropped off. What's up? Anyway, so I'm gonna finish this, then we're gonna end it. So I would say that when Robin Williams at the beginning of Hook, when he was this uptight corporate professional, he was afraid. He was afraid and he forgot how to fly because he didn't believe. So I would say that's like some of these people who cannot see like the cusp that we're on and the freedom that NFTs will provide to artists and collectors alike. Not just artists, any creative and collective alike. Whoa.